First question, right here.
Jerry, how do you assess this summer's box office battle, and can a film like Prince of Persia win it despite not being in 3D?
I hope so. I don't know if it'll win it, but it'll certainly be a contender. It's a terrific film, so we hope for the best.
Hi, Jake, you've dabbled in the action genre before with Day After Tomorrow and Jarhead in a military context. How did you enjoy being a full-on action hero in Open Traffic?
We were struggling for that. Amy, it was great fun. It's great fun. Particularly, here's an interesting quote from you. Great acting with a great director, and then jumping around all over the building. It's great fun.
So you consider this your first real action?
I do, yes.
Jake, I wasn't preparing for a character that is basically a video game.
It was fun. I've never done research playing video games. I've never played video games as research. It's quite a sometimes I read books or I hung out with movies, but playing video games is great fun.
Jake, how was it working with Ben Kingsley?
It was different from a video game, that's for sure. It's an honor. I mean, he's, Sir Ben. It's a great honor. I mean, working with someone who you can play with and he's so experienced and so wise. And also, actually, sword fighting was Ben Kingsley. So we have a couple fights together too. He's a fierce competitor.
Yes. Jake, can you talk a little bit about your preparations? I know this required acrobatics, horse riding, new accent for you. What were some of the regimes you went through to get prepared?
You just named them all. I mean, we did all the normal training that you do to get ready, cardiovascularly, and then you listen to all the experts and they teach you how to do it. Every day, horseback riding, parkour training, gymnastics, sword fighting, and all of this.
Jerry, can you talk a bit about your feelings on 3D?
Well, it's certainly done very well at the box office, thanks to Avatar, but it's a new medium. It's wonderful. It's new technology that makes the theater-going experience even more exciting. So it's terrific, and hopefully we'll see a lot more movies.
I had a question for Jerry.
Sorry, I'm busy.
Well, I just wanted to actually present.
You? Yep.
Question for Jake. Do the characters you play occasionally become a permanent part of who you are? Give you a perspective, and particularly the Prince of Persia.
Wow, that is so. Yeah, in one way or another, every character you play is, based somewhere in, some understanding or where you are in your life, some understanding of that. But with Prince of Persia, yes, I think getting to know someone like David Bell and learning parkour and being as physical as I was, and now I wish that I was British because I feel like I'm proficient enough with the British accent. There are those vestiges of things that I do keep, and occasionally I'll throw out the British accent, at the dinner table with my family. So yes, they do stay with you, and this one definitely has.
And you always carry a sword.
I do always. And I keep the dagger of time. I'm going to turn you to this press conference if there are any weird questions.
Mike, just a question for you. Do you enjoy the variety? Because you've worked in so many different films and so many different genres. Is it something that you find motivates you as a director? Do you enjoy it as a director?
Yeah, but there are also certain factors that simply twist your arm and you have to come along. I mean, if Jerry Bruckheimer, a genre, he's going to give me 400 cavalry and 100 camels and get him to charge, am I going to say no?
Jake, you know this is a great action role, sorry, but what was the toughest stunt you were allowed to perform?
It always varied. I mean, it got a little bit dicey towards the end because everybody saw that I liked doing things that were a little bit dangerous, and so we tried our hands at things that, we're pushing it a little bit. I think in the end there's this one fight towards the middle of the movie that we shot at the end with my brother where he has an axe and I'm fighting him with my sword and a shield that I have left, and we really got dangerous with that fight, and there were a few times where the axe came so close to my face, almost that, mean, everyone's like, oh, that looks so good. There were definitely, though that fight was an intense one, and some of the jumps got pretty. When I'd be like, it's okay, guys, you don't have to do this so much. Let it go, let it go. Damn, you know, on my knees and be like, you know, secretly weeping inside. But besides, you know, that, you know, there was a big 35-foot jump I did, which that got a little hairy a couple of times. Particularly, I was like, let me try it again.
For Jake, and probably by extension the rest of the panel also, whose idea was it to actually utilize an English accent for this film, or this era?
I think it's the fact that it doesn't seem right to have an American accent back in the 6th century. Somehow you accept an English accent as being real. You know, you don't want your actor saying "oh" or "wow" or something like that.
Words unknown in England.
How much better did that sound?
I was wondering, this is a question for Jerry. What is, when you're making a movie like this, how much attention is paid to the future of it as a franchise versus how much is spent just concentrating on making what you're making now? Because obviously I
Zero. Absolutely zero. Making it a franchise. I think what you try to do is make a really compelling movie, strong characters, great themes, great story, and if the audience embraces it, you get lucky and you think about another. When we made the first Pirates movie, we had no inclination the audience would accept a film about pirates with Johnny Depp playing like he's drunk. You know? So we just go with it, and if you get lucky and Disney wants to make another one and you people embrace it, then we'll think about another one.
Not one word did Jerry say to me about it. Not one word.
This question is for Jordan. What's it like to have a video game that started out in the early stages of the video game industry, and then you had it remade, and then to actually see it brought to life on the big screen?
Well, the original Apple II character was 40 pixels high. The soundtrack was decent budget, so to go from that giant extravaganza into Morocco, that's pretty amazing.
well, I've heard so much about the Persia accent.
If I did that now, then why aren't you guys doing that?
Just to see your dreamy smile.
There you go. Yeah, you gotta wait for the movie, man. I worked hard enough for you to be in the movie. I can't just let you.
The native exactly.
Congratulations, Jake, on the English accent. Did you? Did you base it on anyone in particular? Because you kind of sounded like a young Michael Caine to me.
I'm proud. Did I do what? Sorry.
Did you work with a dialect coach, or did you base it on anyone in particular that you know? That you know.
Yes, I did work with a dialect coach. I worked with I don't know if I can give away the secrets, but I worked with a wonderful dialect coach named Barbara Berkeley, and she's done some of the American accents that you've heard of, many of them.
Bridget Jones being
Jones and Alto, and you know, she worked with a lot of, she's a very, very talented woman, and I was also, the entire cast is British, so I mean, I was around that accent, and our crew, really, for the most part. We had a pretty international crew, but for the most part, there were a lot of Brits there, so I was surrounded by it all the time. In fact, I would move in and out of different regions sometimes. That's true. My dad said, I said you to get back up.
And what's your favourite British slang word you learned from the crew, or swear word?
I can't say that.